The way you think about confidence is wrong. What do you think about when you think about confidence? A lot of the times you think about a person who's very charismatic, who's no fear, who just doesn't give a fuck what other people think about them. Well, but that's not true confidence. That's not all there is to confidence. There's so many myths going around in the self-help community right now. People are telling you things about becoming confident, about faking it till you make it, and selling this idea of a false sense of confidence. They're basically selling you the idea that being egocentric, only caring about yourself, being loud, always, you know, going after your own interests first is confidence. But actually, that is just being a person who does not really care about others, and that's not who you want to be. Confidence can coexist with empathy. And today, I want to kind of debunk a few myths that we commonly hear about confidence. So, first myth. A lot of the times, self help gurus will tell you that confidence means being fearless. Confidence means not giving a shit, means just taking risks and, yeah, just acting without really thinking of the consequences. But that is not true. Confidence means having fear, feeling fear, and moving on, moving forward anyway. Fear doesn't disqualify you from being confident. It just means you care, and that is not a bad thing. We don't have to be ruthless. We don't have to be cold all the time. It is okay to feel fear. It is okay to be hesitant in certain situations, especially if they're new situations. But you have to act anyway. You have to fake it till you make it. Act like you don't, or accept the fact that you feel this fear and act anyway. Act despite your fear. Don't ignore your fear, feel it, and then act anyway. It's not like confident people don't feel scared. I think confident people, especially, get themselves in situations which are pretty scary. They get themselves into new environments. They keep coming into situations where challenges arise and then they still move forward. Secondly, confidence is not a personality type, you know? A lot of the times people tell themselves, oh, I'm just not a confident person. I'm just kind of shy. I'm just kind of awkward. And this is something you're born with. Just some people just step out of the wound and they're just charismatic. And it's just something that will never, ever happen to me. This is something that I couldn't be. But that is not true. Confidence, just like many other things in life, is a skill that can be learned. It's a habit that can be formed. And through performing confident actions over and over again, you will eventually start to become truly confident. Confidence is not about being extroverted, loud, or dominant, even. It's about being authentic and showing up as your true self in every situation that you're in, or almost every situation that you're in. You know, sometimes maybe you won't be able to be your full self, for example, when you're in a work environment, but every time you have the chance to be authentic, to be true, try to be that. And this will make you confident. This will teach you this confidence habit and will make you and turn you into a confident person. Also, another misconception, a lot of times people think that confidence always feels good. It doesn't. Just like any habit that you learn, at first it will be hard. At first you will not want to do it. We are creatures of habit. We like to perform what we know over and over again, even if it causes us suffering. We'd rather stay with something that is familiar and miserable than try out the new thing that might improve our life quality but is new, you know? We really tend to stick with what we know because it feels safe. And especially when you want to move from being like a shy, awkward person to being a more confident person, it will hurt at first. And what is important here is that you don't give up in the beginning. It's because a lot of the times people have a very low like frustration tolerance, you know. They will start to experience some kind of aversion. They will maybe receive some bad feedback from people on the outside telling them, hey, why all of a sudden you kind of like really sticking up for yourself. It's annoying because a lot of the times when you go from being a people pleaser to becoming a confident person, people will start to notice and people won't like it at all. Because if you're a people pleaser, you're always serving the people around you. If you're a confident person, you're also serving yourself. Doesn't mean you're being like egocentric or like selfish or anything, but it just means that you're less of a servant to other people. And what is important here is that you don't cripple in the beginning, is that you realize that over a time span, eventually building confidence will actually affect you in a positive way, even if in the beginning it will feel hard and it will feel difficult and it will kind of feel like you're performing or pretending to be someone you're not. Okay, so now we cleared up what confidence is not. Okay, just as a quick summary, confidence is not being loud, confidence is not born, it is built, and confidence does not always feel good. But what is confidence? There's a concept in psychology, it's called self-efficacy, and I think this is one of the most important aspects of confidence. Self-efficacy basically means that you make the experience that you can handle things. It is basically believing that you can figure something out. Imagine you want to apply for a job and you keep getting rejections. It's super frustrating, it's super difficult. And what a confident person will believe and will do is they will believe that eventually they will succeed. So they will be starting to apply over and over again. They will keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Even if they hit a wall, even if they send out like 70 applications, they will still believe that eventually they will succeed. And what happens when you actually get an invite back, get the interview, get the job, hopefully, eventually, is you feel a sense of accomplishment. You persevered through the challenges, through the suffering, through this initial period of discomfort, and eventually you succeeded. Eventually you got what you wanted and what you knew you deserved. That is self efficacy. And this is what confidence is about, believing that you can do it and making the experience that you can do it. Acting as if you have the right to achieve what you want to achieve and being absolutely certain that you will achieve it. And that is hard, especially if you come from a background where you've been very insecure all your life, where you've been told by other people that you're not confident, that you're not competent, that you're not able to achieve the things you set your mind to, when people told you to dream small, when people told you that you cannot be anything special. It's super hard. But as I said, it's a habit. And first of all, you need to persevere for these times of struggle and for these times of doubt. Second thing is growth mindset. Confidence is not believing that you have to be good at something right away. Okay? You don't have to be a natural at anything. Okay? It is okay to fail in the beginning. If you try out something new, say you want to start a new career, and in the beginning you really struggle. You want to build a YouTube channel, for example. You want to start a career as a singer or as a comedian. In the beginning, you just suck. Confidence means taking this suck, taking the negative feedback you receive, and using it as fuel. Using it as evidence that you're doing the right thing. Using it to move you forward. It's kind of like this cheesy quote, like, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. That is what confidence is about. Taking in the shit and not making it ruin you, making it ruin your mood, making it ruin your sense of self, but actually using it to move forward. Don't tell yourself, I'm not good at this. Tell yourself, I'm not good at this yet. And use this thing as motivation. Use the state that you're in right now, this state of dissatisfaction, the state of feeling as though you can't do it, as motivation to become better in the future. This is what confidence is about. And third of all, something that is really, I think, forgotten the most is self-compassion. You have to, and this is the ironic thing, real confidence doesn't come from hyping yourself up all the time, looking in the mirror and telling yourself, okay, I'm the alpha, I'm the boss, I'm a bad bitch, and I rule this world. Nah, this is not what confidence is about. Confidence is about loving yourself or having compassion for yourself, even if you screw up. Treat yourself as if you're your own best friend. It's so cheesy, but it's so true. Confidence means pushing yourself, but also being compassionate with yourself when you fail. Okay? Carl Rogers has a quote. He said that the curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change. So you don't build confidence by forcing yourself to be better. You build confidence by accepting who you are and then taking the step to change anyway. So, how do I build confidence, especially if I come from being a people pleaser and being a really shy and awkward person? First of all, stop performing. Stop pretending to be chill, cool, or above it all. Show up as yourself. Be authentic and be vulnerable. This is confidence, okay? Start implementing small, brave actions into your everyday life. Start taking more risks. And here, think of the growth mindset that I told you about. Even if it feels hard in the beginning, even if you feel like you can't do it, try it anyway. And if you fail, be compassionate with yourself. This is how you will start to build this confidence habit. So, also, if you succeed, of course, be happy about your achievement, but what you should really focus on is not the outcome, but the reps you're putting in, just like with exercise, okay? Every time that you do a thing that is confident, or you do a thing that you wouldn't have done before, celebrate that, no matter what the outcome is. Even if you're having bad days, even if some days you're really falling back into this pattern of believing that you're just not worth it, that you're just worse than everybody else, be kind to yourself, okay? Nobody has a good day every day. Nobody achieves like everything they set their mind to every day. We rarely do, okay? We're still human. The difference between confident people and non confident people is that confident people will still be compassionate with themselves, even if they didn't achieve what they wanted to achieve, because they know exactly that this compassion is the thing that will allow them to be better the next day. And lastly, don't get distracted by your emotions, okay? If you feel like shit in the beginning, don't let this be an indicator that you should stop, okay? You can feel like shit while still doing the right thing and while still following your values. So I hope you guys could take something from this video, and I see you guys in the next video. Bye.